Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of our Take the Lead parade. My name is Noah Sider and I'm a Stern here at church. Before we get started, I'd just like to say a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and in specific my dad, Jeff Sider. Today we're going to be learning about a man from the Bible named Gideon who was afraid and see how he received courage from God to lead. So I want to see what things make you afraid. When I mention something, if you are afraid, I want you to make a scared face like this. But if you aren't afraid, I want you to make a confident stance like this. Okay, here we go. Spiders, the dark, thunderstorms, monsters under the bed, going somewhere alone, tight spaces, getting lost, earthquakes, scary movies, speaking in front of people, heights, getting a shot at the doctor's office, or snakes. There are many people that share the same fears as you. We call them phobias, and others have many different ones as well. Most everyone has a way to cope with something when they're afraid. Sometimes they close their eyes really tight and start humming. Some of us might hold tightly to a stuffed animal. Others of us run away as fast as we can. I have a couple of questions for you and whoever you're with at home. First, what do you do when you're afraid? And second, why does that help you to be afraid less? Everyone has fears, even leaders, but they end up overcoming those fears with help from God, and they end up doing something epic. Today, we're going to hear about one such leader. Right now, though, I'd love to worship the Lord in song. Putting my heart on Jesus always gives me courage.
My God is strong. He'll do anything big or small. Nothing is impossible for a super wonderful God. And every day I can know God is always there for me and my family. Every day I can know greater is the one who lives inside me. Super big, super strong, super wonderful God. Super big, super strong, super wonderful God. My God is strong. He'll do anything big or small. Nothing is impossible for a super wonderful God. Every day I can know God is always there for me and my family. And every day I can know greater is the one who lives inside me. Super big, super strong, super wonderful God. Super big, super strong, super wonderful God. Oh, 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 oh. Super big, super strong, super wonderful God. 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 Oh, 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 oh.
Great job, guys. Like I said, today we're talking about Gideon. His story is true, and it happened in the book of Judges. Watch this video to see what happened.
Slapstick Theater, Gideon's 300 Men. This is Gideon, who was a judge of Israel. In the time when Gideon lived, a group of people called the Midianites were taking over the Israelites' land.
Get out of here!
And the Israelites were starving. So the Israelites asked God for help. God chose Gideon to rescue the Israelites.
Hey, everybody!
And gave him the power to lead an army of Israelites.
Yeah!
One day, Gideon and his army got up early and came close to the Midianite camp. God told Gideon that he had too many warriors with him.
Really?
So God told Gideon to let all the men who were scared go home.
All right, you can go home. Phew.
So 22,000 men went home, and Gideon was left with only 10,000. But God told Gideon that he still had too many men with him.
What, really?
He told Gideon to bring the men down to the water, and that God would give them a test.
Okay.
Gideon did as God asked, and then God said, "Divide the men in 2 groups. In one group, put all those who cup water in their hands and lap it up with their tongues like dogs. In the other group, put those who kneel down and drink with their mouths in the stream." Only 300 men drank from their hands. God told Gideon, "With these 300 men, I will rescue you and give you victory over the Midianites. Send all the others home." So Gideon did as God said.
You can go home.
That night, God told Gideon to get up and go down to the camp to listen to what the Midianites were saying.
Hey, Pura, let's go.
Gideon and his servant Purah went down to the camp and saw the huge army. There were too many men and camels for Gideon to even count.
Whoa, that's a lot of camels.
But Gideon heard a soldier telling another man about a dream he had that showed them that God would give Gideon victory over the Midianites. When Gideon heard this, he worshipped God.
Come on.
Then Gideon and his army of 300 men went down to the Midianite camp. They blew their horns and held torches in their hands. They yelled out, and the Midianite soldiers rushed around in a panic and tried to escape. Then God caused the Midianites to start fighting against each other. Because of God's power, Gideon and his army had victory over the Midianites that day.
As you saw, even though Gideon was afraid, God helped give him courage. And God will do the same for you. Drum roll, please. And that's today's big idea. God gives me the courage to lead.
Hi there, chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl.
And I'm Andy. Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
What is up, Andy?
How's it going?
What it do?
Hey there.
What up?
All right, no more. We have fun.
We sure do.
You seem like you're in a really good mood, Carl.
Well, it's because I am.
Well, why is that?
Well, after last week's big idea of everyone can be a leader, well, it got me excited.
That's great, Carl.
It really is. I mean, I'm a leader. I can accomplish so much.
That's so good for you, man.
What? What was that?
Well, I mean, I think it's great that you're confident, but,
But what?
well, leading takes a lot of responsibility. I'm always scared to lead.
I'm scared to lead? Why?
I mean, what if I fail?
Fail. What are you talking about, fail?
Well, you know how you could succeed at leading, right?
Yeah, if you're good at something, you succeed. What's the problem?
Well, the problem is, just like you can succeed, you can also fail.
Excuse me?
Wait, you mean you didn't know that?
course I knew that. I mean, like, when you succeed, is like when you fail. You know, it's the conundrum of this sentence is what? What?
Carl, you're not making any sense.
That's because I'm failing, Andy.
But,
No buts. This is it. Every hope, goal, and dream I had has vanished into thin air.
whoa, Carl, that is not.
No more leading for me. Let's take a moment to thank all the leaders that I wanted to be like.
Hey, Jada.
Hey Andy, how's it going, Carl?
Oh, not bad.
You excited about being a leader?
Carl's not having the best day.
Oh, how come?
I'm just a little bummed is all.
Why's that?
Well, I was so excited about being a leader, but then Andy destroyed my whole universe.
Okay, not really. I was just reminding Carl that sometimes when you're leading, you may not always succeed. You may fail or mess up.
And now he just reminded me twice. Why are you trying to destroy my whole universe, Andy?
I'm glad you're not being dramatic about this.
I'm not dramatic! Okay, I'm a little dramatic.
Now, Carl, you gotta understand, leading can be scary, but it's so much easier when you have God on your side.
Just like Gideon.
Exactly.
Giddy Woody?
Gideon, he was a normal guy in the Old Testament.
Yup, and one day while he was working, an angel came to him and told him that the Lord was with him.
But weren't the Israelites God's people kind of in just like a bad spot right then?
They were. The people of God were not listening to God, but God still loved them.
Oh.
That angel also called Gideon a mighty warrior.
Hold up. I thought you just said he was a normal dude, not some mighty warrior. Those things are completely different.
Well, Gideon was surprised by hearing that too, but he was told by the angel that he would be the one to defeat the Midianites, the people who have been treating the Israelites so poorly.
Wow, that's huge.
It was, but Gideon started out his mighty warrior status by leading the charge to destroy the idols that his own people had put up.
Whoa, that was bold.
Carl, do you even know what an idol is?
Yeah, it's anything that takes place of God. I mean, God talked about it in the Ten Commandments.
Respect.
Yeah, I know things.
That was impressive, Carl. Then Gideon was told he would have to go to battle, even though his community was weak and he was the smallest in his family.
Talk about being afraid to fail. That's a lot of pressure.
You bet it is, and Gideon was so nervous that he asked for a sign from God.
Like a stop sign?
Not really. What Gideon was going to do is he was going to take a piece of wool from a lamb, go outside and lay it down, and in the morning, if that wool was wet and the ground was dry, he knew that God would keep his promise and be with him and help him defeat the Midianites.
How would a wet piece of wool help?
It wouldn't, but that was Gideon's way of making absolute sure that it was God who was calling him.
Still weird, but proceed.
God gave Gideon the signs he asked for, but when Gideon gathered people to join his army, God told Gideon that there were too many people in his army. So Gideon said anyone who was afraid to fight can go home. And do you know how many people went home?
500.
22.
22.
Ha!
1,000. 22,000 soldiers.
What?
What?
And even though there were only 10,000 soldiers left, God said it was still too much. So Gideon listened to God, and at the end of it, there were only 300 soldiers left.
Are you kidding me? Why would God take away Gideon's armies?
Well, Gideon was told he would defeat the Midianites, and God wanted to make sure that everyone would know that if it wasn't for God, then they would have failed.
Holy moly, that's incredible. So they won?
They sure did, all because Gideon trusted God and God gave him courage to lead.
Well, that's great. So I guess I shouldn't be worried about failing.
Right? Everyone fails, but it takes real courage and bravery to lead.
It takes courage to trust too, and leading with God on your side is so much better than anything else.
I believe that. What an awesome reminder. God gives me courage to lead.
Hey Carl, that's our big idea.
Heck, what? No, you're silly, Jada. Andy. Apparently, today's big idea is God gives me courage to lead.
So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1,
2,
3.
God gives me courage to lead. Way to go.
Alright.
He gives me the courage and you the courage. And Andy, apparently, who would have thunk? Hey, I got a question, Andy. What are you afraid of?
Nothing?
Really? Not even this?
What is it?
Nothing.
Ah!
Gotcha. See you next week, kids.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Grow TV.
Why might we need courage to lead? Being a leader isn't just about getting recognition and being in charge. It can also mean doing what is unpopular because it's the right thing to do. It would take a lot of courage to go against what everyone else is doing because you know God would want you to behave differently. But that's an example of a great leader, helping others see how God wants everyone to act. Think about some examples you might face in your own life, whether that be a bad call at a baseball game and you have to have the courage to tell your teammates not to be mean about the ref, or maybe somebody's not treating you nice at school and you need the courage to treat them the way you want to be treated. When it's your turn to lead, you might be scared that no one will agree with you, or that you might mess up, or that you're not sure of what you're doing. But that's when you need to remind yourself, God gives me the courage to lead. Let's work on our memory verse for this month, Micah 6:8.
And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8.
And to wrap up, I'd like to ask you to bow your heads in prayer with me. Dear God, there are many times in our lives when we are afraid, especially when you might be asking us to step up and lead in some way. Teach us not to be afraid in those situations. Help us to trust you, that you have our back, and that you give us the courage to lead. Amen. Once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.